64 Tacos Podcasts presents Is This Song Good? This is episode 40. Bloodhound Gang, The Bad Touch.
Okay, welcome back to another installment of Is This Song Good? A 64 Tacos podcast. This week we're doing another Why Is This Song So Popular? And this one is going to be called The Bad Touch by Bloodhound Gang. This is my pick. I was really into the song at the time when it came out, and I'm not exactly sure why. And so part of this episode is trying to understand my own history.
This is your free therapy lesson?
Yes, this is my free therapy. Yes, that is going to be public. So I was exposed to this song. I don't know if it was. I was definitely working at Target, and there were some people I was hanging out with that were into like the club scene and stuff, and they listened to this song on repeat. And so I think it was more of the crowd I was hanging with, my running crew.
I take no responsibility for Zach's friends before we started hanging out.
Yeah,
if this is what they were into, then it's not my fault.
Yeah. I'm interested to hear your guys' take. I think from my perspective, I think it has to do with just sort of like the wittiness of the lyrics and stuff and the catchiness of the beat. But what do you guys think?
All right. So when you say wittiness of the lyrics, are you putting that in air quotes or?
Oh yeah.
Now listen, I remember freshman year of college. I remember hearing the song, people talking about Bloodhound Gang and stuff, and I remember hearing it being like, "Oh yeah, this is pretty funny. These guys are crazy, haha." And then it sort of like fell out of my mind until you brought it up again. Thank you. And so I listened to it, and the song is really catchy. The music is really catchy. And I remember being like, oh, yeah, that's a pretty good song. I don't know if I'm down with a band that has an album called Hooray for Boobies, but, okay, it's catchy, right? And so then I watched the video and listened to the song and read the lyrics, and I was like maybe my standard for awful, like, parody, like, white guy rap is now higher than it used to be. But, like, his, if you want to call it flow, is awful. Yeah, the lyrics are clever like a 12-year-old, like it's clever like Ugly Kid Joe thinks things are clever. Yeah. And the video's a little dicey, like the whole tranking beautiful women and hitting gay people over the head with baguettes and stuff is all a little like, that's nice. I'm not saying we need to get out the cancel police out or anything, but it's all very like 90s and kind of awful, And I listened to it once I made myself listen to it like 3 times. But I now never want to hear it again. I had a sort of benign opinion. Like we talked about Hootie and the Blowfish, and like the song I think is better now. I think it's better now than I did back in 94. Well, I think the song is 1,000 times worse than the first time I heard it.
Yeah, this does not stand the test of time. No way.
No. And yeah, like you said, Dan, I don't think we need to get the cancel police out.
No, because it's mild.
Because I don't think Bloodhound Gang is having much effect on reality right now. Anyway,
well, an interesting anecdote on that subject, Dave, is. Some people got mad, like GLAAD and people that support gay people about the scene in the video where they attack the effeminate like French dudes, and so Jimmy Pop, who is the lead singer, the MC of the band, his response was like perfectly on brand. I think he says something to the effect of, "I will give any gay man 2 tickets to the Andrew Lloyd Webber show of his choice if you can tell me how this promotes violence. And I'm like, I mean, you're right, but man, you're just a dick, aren't you? He's not wrong. He's just an ass, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. No cancel culture, but also I am rolling my eyes pretty hard when I'm watching the video.
Yeah, I remember hearing it and thinking, oh, that's kind of funny. That, when back in 99 or whatever, thinking that's kind of funny. That's very lewd. That's it's kind of fun. But then, the more I listened to it, the more I was like, this is definitely not something I need to invest money with. Were I in a crew that, rolling with a crew that this was a staple for, probably would have found a new crew. And if I'm not mistaken, Zach, you did shortly thereafter.
I found you guys.
Yeah.
Remember,
we called you, we woke you up at 2:00 in the afternoon to come play Minecraft, if I'm not mistaken, or Minecraft. Mario Kart.
So you got to remember, Dave, you got to remember, we were like 19 when we heard this song. Zach, you're a little younger, right?
Yeah.
How young and impressionable were you?
17.
All right, never mind. There's no excuse. If you were like 13, I'd be like, okay, but
if you were to present this song to now, then there's no way it would fly. It's tragically flawed in 1,000 different ways, but it's a memento of the time when it was all right to hit homosexuals with baguettes and suggest date rape and all that stuff.
Well, that's a nice 2-for-1 too, because you're mocking the French and the gays, which
yeah,
that's red meat to the to the conservatives, I suppose. Conservatives who like a band like like this one, but yeah.
It definitely seems to be in the same vein as like Limp Bizkit and
yes.
That era of just oddly out of place stuff. It was kind of like a floundering culture. Like
in a frat house, I'm sure this was. This was awesome.
That's what it's written for. Frat boys. Like that. It totally makes sense. You're right. I think you hit the nail on the head there.
And before this song, and I think the only other hit that Bloodhound Gang has had is that Firewater Burn, the one that's burn, motherfucker.
We don't need any water.
Yeah.
What's the motherfucker burn? Right. That was the same band, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I like to think that's the better one, but I'm afraid if I listen to it, I'll be like, nope, this is awful too.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't need to be good to be the better one.
True.
But yeah, I think the reason this song was successful was the whole frat boy mentality, the whole toxic masculinity,
and the club scene.
And the club scene. Well, yeah, I mean that runs rampant in the club scene. I never went to the club, but I think I went to the intersection once.
Yeah, it's not really a club. Well, it is a club, but yeah. Anyway, it's weird too, because it does seem like it's very much chasing trends even at the time. Like this is just a year or two after Eminem started getting really popular, and so like the white guy rapping thing was, there was had a little bit of a moment there. Not that there's anything wrong with that, Seinfeld, but at the same time, like it was like the whole Limp Bizkit thing, all these bands that were like doing this rap rock thing. And that's more what Firewater Burn is. Like it's more of a rock song. This one's like combining the hey, white guys can rap, and also like, be fratty, because that's one thing that the Beastie Boys stopped being pretty early on. Being fratty, but also then they toss in like the dance thing, like, cause this track is like a Depeche Mode ripoff, like it's interesting. Yeah. And I actually like the music. If you could just get rid of the vocals altogether, it's like, oh, this is a catchy little, like, like dance pop, like late 80s type thing, and not bad at all. But it does seem to be just like grabbing onto all the popular stuff and then putting like juvenile lyrics over it.
Kind of reminiscent of presidents of the United States of America, without having the knowledge that what you're saying is juvenile, like thinking it's actually the way it's, the way it is.
And I would argue presidents of the United States of America were more like bizarre Dadaist, whereas this is like juvenile, like boobs and farts, like it's a different kind of, it's also juvenile, but a different kind of juvenile.
Right. Toilet humor.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, so I think the verdict is in. This song is not good.
That is correct. Yes. In fact, it's interesting you said, Dan, about the Depeche Mode, because for the longest time I thought it was sampling a Depeche Mode song, and when I found out I wasn't, I was like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Yeah, that's, if you told me it was a sample, I would be like, that makes more sense than them coming up with this. It's not like original, but it's like it just sonically is a dead on like late 80s, dance pop thing.
Violator era Depeche Mode ripoff. Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I think we've spent enough time on this song.
Yeah, no, that's enough time. And I have two that I want to propose for next week, and I'll let you guys choose which one we do. And it'll be a surprise for the listeners. I want to either do My Own Prison by Creed, or I want to do Crash by Dave Matthews Band.
I was going to choose Crash, so let's do both. I'll do Crash.
All right, both it is. All right.
You mean Crash Into Me? Because I think there's a song called Crash too, I think. But you're talking about the Peeping Tom one, right?
Into me.
Yeah. Somebody call the police.
So now I know which song that is. Can you sing a little My Own Prison just so I can get that in my head so I know which one it is?
Should have been dead on a Sunday morning, banging my head.
Very nice. All right.
No time for mourning. I ain't got no time. And I said,
All right. Let's save it for.
I didn't hate that burns inside, which only fuels their selfish pride.
The Cancel Police are
That's
coming.
not the Cancel Police. So I just like to remind all our listeners that that wonderful vocal performance came from a former lead singer of our band. So
professional singer.
Yeah, you're getting. Well, I think, did we ever get paid?
Professional rock singer. We did get paid once.
We got paid once. Yeah, technically true. Technically true.
Professional rock singer right here.
The infamous Pazixski.
Hopefully I didn't punch out the mic there. I'm pretty sure I did.
Infamous Punchki.
So more Creed karaoke coming soon. So keep an eye out for that. Creedioke. Yeah. 7 Steps to Salvation
with Nickelback thrown in just for shits and giggles. All right.
See you next time.
I caught it on audio.